Let's speak now to energy analyst Ruse Moleshe. A very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. The biggest build program in post-apartheid South Africa.
Yes.
Well, it's what makes it so, well, I guess, I mean, the 440 billion speaks for itself, but in terms of impact and what it's going to do for the country, what does this mean?
So, assuming you're talking about the transmission projects or program that government is undertaking to be able to enable renewable energy projects to connect to the grid. That is what government is looking at, and it is a big program over a 10-year period, and it's almost 5 times bigger than what Eskom has done in the past, which is why government is now bringing in the private sector to be able to do it.
Well,
what was the question again?
Yes, I mean, that in fact was the question. I mean, given the amounts involved, the time it's going to take to complete it, it is indeed very big. But often projects like these do attract a lot of attention, accusations, and counter-accusations. Given what is happening in the energy space right now, would you say there are enough safeguards to deal with whatever, not that questions won't arise, but to deal with whatever questions that may arise?
So, yeah, the project is almost similar to what you had with the Renewable Energy IPP procurement program. It's just that those projects were more on the generation side, and this is an enabler for transmission. So the fact that that program, at least in the beginning, attracted a lot of positive reviews is because it was ring-fenced and properly in terms of procurement. The rules were made clearer in the beginning, and every party was allocated risk accordingly. And so the payment goes into a project that has been rolled out and a project that is operational, and the most of the risk is taken by the private sector itself in terms of developing the projects early on and also ensuring that they are permitting, looking for the funding from the financiers and that kind of thing. So it's a broad program that in that sense, because it's programmatic, it's not a big amount of money sitting somewhere where then the payment will happen based on that procurement. It will be happening based on the delivering of the projects and the delivery of infrastructure, and the funds will flow in according to milestones achieved. So from that perspective, though no one can say a program can be foolproof, that provides a lot more comfort.
I have no reason not to believe the minister when he says it'll ensure competition, it'll bring greater levels of innovation, and perhaps most importantly for many people, bring down the cost of energy. But do these types of programs indeed do that?
Well, if we judge by the Renewable Energy IPP program, there's competition from one aspect. The aspect was, in the beginning, the costs were relatively high and there were relatively fewer players, and the costs over time reduced. But however, that has turned around, and you find that certain players with the dominance in the market that have the financial muscle continue now to dominate that sector, and they continue to win the bids. So the market consolidates after a while, and you find that the big players that can negotiate lower costs from funding perspective, that can achieve acquiring of more land, tend to have a dominance. And so also the jury is out in terms of reduction in costs, because the biggest costs would really be on supporting that transmission in terms of payment back to those entities. To the extent that now the guarantees will have a particular framework, that may be reducing the burden on government. But it's always not an easy thing to just say the costs will go down and the market will be opened up to many more players. I found that over time, the players consolidate into 5, 6 big players.
Well, we shall see. Let me thank you very much for your time and insight. Energy analyst Ruse Moleshe.